Knicks head coach Tom Thibodeau has given a shocking response to Mikal Bridges calling him out on the minutes situation, where Mikal said that he is playing too much and the bench is not playing nearly enough, with now other New York Knicks speaking out on this, and Mikal Bridges giving one of the best responses humanly possible, also showing a sign that maybe, just maybe, we have a definitive answer to what's going to happen next. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. And guys, nope, I'm not going to ask you to subscribe, though please subscribe. But also, if you're driving to work and you want to watch these, make sure to check us out on Spotify, because if you're driving to work and you get distracted by the graphics, you're going to crash your car in a fiery explosion, and then somehow it's going to be my fault, and I'm going to go to prison, and I don't want that. So, none of that's really true, except for please subscribe to our Spotify. But let's jump into the video, guys, and also subscribe to the YouTube channel. Guys, we have a lot to talk about, because obviously the biggest storyline going into yesterday was the fact that Mikal Bridges called out Tom Thibodeau for the minutes that he is playing, saying that it's not always easy to play this many minutes. And Tom Thibodeau, well, he gave his response to Mikal's claims that, well, there's too many minutes that he's playing and that the bench should play more. Now, something to highlight about Mikal saying this was not just about him. This was also about him advocating for the Knicks bench and saying they were better. It's not just him saying, hey, old man, stop playing me this many minutes or whatever. That's not what happened. Okay, it's kind of what happened, but it's not fully what happened. And Mikal, who did speak on this, basically just to give a rundown of what he said sometimes it's not fun on the body to play those many minutes, but you want that as a coach. You also talk to him a little bit, knowing that we've got a good enough team to where our bench guys can come in, and we don't need to play 48, 47 minutes. We've got a lot of good guys on this team that can take away the minutes, which helps the defense, helps out the offense, helps tired bodies being out there and giving up all these points. It helps us getting fresh bodies out there. And then also he said, yeah, no, he's not really arguing about it. Sometimes I think he just gets in his ways and he gets locked in and he just wants to keep the guy out there, which is usually him. Sometimes you just have to tell him, Landry Shamet, for example, or somebody, keep playing them out there. They're playing well. So Mikal obviously giving some pretty surprising comments saying Tibbs gets in his ways and that, well, he doesn't want to play 48, 47 minutes because it's not always fun on the body. And on top of that, he also just wants to get some more rest and watch the bench guys play because he believes in them and he wants them to perform. And Tom Thibodeau, understandably, did not take kindly to being suggested by one of his players on how to coach his team. So obviously this caused a shift. And, well, there's been a lot of different outlets, like Stephen A. Smith saying that Tom Thibodeau's job is going to be in jeopardy for this, and me thinking that Tom Thibodeau's job is going to be in jeopardy for this, and a bunch of Knicks fans thinking that Tom Thibodeau's job is going to be in jeopardy for this, and other people saying that maybe Mikal gets traded because of this. So we'll see what happens. But look, there has been the wide thought that Tom Thibodeau is not really on thin ice or anything, but he is on a hotter seat than usual because of the Knicks overplaying these guys. And, well, there's just been a lot of reasons to believe that maybe the New York Knicks, just maybe, they could go the direction of a different coach. But Tibbs did respond to Mikal Bridges, saying that he talked to Tibbs about this. And Tibbs said, for one, we never had a conversation about it. The facts are the facts. When you look at our team and the way it works, Jalen Brunson plays 35 minutes. And I think he's 20th or 21st in average minutes played. Karl-Anthony Towns, who's a primary scorer, plays less than Jalen. He's like 25th in the league in average minutes. And guys, Tibbs is right. He is. He's right. We could look at the numbers ourselves. Number one in the league in minutes per game is Josh Hart, and tied with him is Mikal Bridges. You go down and you see it's 6 is OG Anunoby. The wings are playing more than anyone because the Knicks don't have a bunch of wing depth, and they definitely don't have any big wings. I mean, PJ Tucker's there now, and he will definitely get some minutes eventually once they kind of warm him up. Remember, Tucker has not played in over a year now, so it's been a while since PJ Tucker's been on the floor. So right now he's more of a vibes guy until the Knicks can decide that they trust him enough to get him out there for some minutes. I definitely think they should. He's a great corner three-point shooter, has a solid three-point stroke, good defender. I know he's 39 years old, but I imagine he can add something positive to the court for 10 minutes a night, which would really help the Knicks out, spread their minutes a bit more. And when you look at the top minutes per game, there is a common sign that is usually the best players in basketball. The best players are playing the most minutes, and then Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges are two great players. Are they the two best players in basketball? No, but there's certainly good players. They're certainly top 100 players in the league. Josh Hart's definitely a top 50 player in the league. Mikal Bridges probably, they're both top 50 players in the league, let's be honest. So we're looking at guys who are very valuable to success as well. Mikal Bridges, when the Knicks traded for him, it wasn't just about the fact that it's Mikal Bridges and he's on Villanova and all that. It was also because it's the same reason why they traded two flashier guys in RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickley for OG Anunoby. Mikal Bridges equals wins. He's a winning type of player. This is what winning teams want. If you have a team with Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns as your point guard and one of your big men, guess what? You're probably going to want OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges on that team because they're two great 3-and-D guys who also have a bunch of intangible skills like Mikal's shot creation, Mikal's mid-range game, OG Anunoby's back cuts off the side, off the baseline. Obviously, both the facts that they're elite defenders and they both do different things well on defenses. OG can be point of attack or help defense or really play defense from anywhere. Mikal Bridges is excellent in a team defensive setting, one that Tom Thibodeau runs, and especially when it revolves around rim protection, like when Mitchell Robinson is playing, like the video I made last. So there's a bunch to go over that makes it feel like, okay, these guys, their intangibles make it worth these trade packages. That was my instant reaction to Mikal when the Knicks traded 5 firsts for him. Yeah, on paper, the Knicks did not win that trade because value and all that. But let's be clear about one thing. Out of those 5 first-round picks, 2 of them are this season. One of them is the Milwaukee Bucks, which is sitting, I believe, at 23rd right now. The New York Knicks pick is at 27th. I was about to curse. That's why I said who cares, who gives, Who cares about those picks? I really don't. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care at all about the 23rd and the 27th pick. They usually equal nothing in basketball because in basketball, the first pick in the draft matters. And then after that, there's a massive drop-off before another pick matters again. So I don't think that this is a big issue. I think the bigger issue is that Mikal and Josh Hart play a ton of minutes and they play a ton of basketball on top of things. And that makes things very, very, very strange. So you have to consider that more than anything else. And I do think that there is some reasoning to playing Mikal Bridges less minutes because you need him for the playoffs, and then he can play as many minutes as you want. If you look at the top 10 in minutes played this season, you see a pattern. There's the 3 Villanova Knicks, and then outside of that, you got Anthony Edwards, all-star, Devin Booker, all-star, De'Aaron Fox, fringe all-star, Jason Tatum, all-star starter, Tyler Hero, all-star, Trae Young, all-star. He's an all-star. He puts up all-star numbers. He's the best player on his team. James Harden, best player on his team, all-star. Jalen Brunson, all-star. Who are the 2 non-all-stars on this team? The 2 guys who have never made an all-star game? Mikal and Josh Hart. But what do? They equal winning. They add to wins. They have good win value. They have better win value than some of the guys on this list, in fact. But what happened is the Knicks, when they gave away all this, they didn't have a lot of wings in the backups, and Tom Thibodeau decided, hey, I don't like my options, so I'm not going to stick around here with this. Now, diving into more of some of these comments that were made, it is important to note a lot of different things here, a lot of different intangibles. Like Josh Hart saying, at the end of the day, we're all grown men. We go out there and we play the game as hard as we can, execute, and we can execute as hard as we can, and the same thing with Tibbs. He executes as hard as he can. Tibbs does whatever it takes to win basketball games. It does make sense. Now, Mikal and Josh are the 2 guys who played the most minutes, but Mikal is the one who's spoken out and say, hey, I'd rather play less minutes. Just put me at 36, 35. Just don't keep me at 38. It's not that much of a change. And Mikal's numbers would probably improve a little bit on the lesser minutes, but on the season, he's putting up 17 points, 3 rebounds, 3.5 assists, shooting 49% from the field and 35% from 3, while shooting 43% on corner threes. The man is having a great season. There's no way around it. And there's not a ton of guys you can replace him with. You could put Bacome in there, who's averaging 2 points and 1 rebound in limited minutes, shooting 33% from the field and 35% from 3. But Bacome is still struggling to find minutes as he's working his way up. He's a 19-year-old. There's a while before Bacome's going to become part of this Knicks rotation. So it does make things a little bit more difficult, and that's just the way it is. And the Knicks, now that they have PJ Tucker, that could change. You can kind of switch that around now. You can look at things differently. But Mikal right now, without Jalen Brunson, is balling out. He's putting up 23.3 points per game, 6 assists, and 4 rebounds since Jalen Brunson went down with the injury. He's also shooting nearly 63% from the field, 37.5% from 3, with a true shooting of 71.2. The man has been awesome in the Knicks' absence, or in Jalen Brunson's absence. So you definitely have to consider that. And yeah, you could go with PJ Tucker, a career 6.6 point per game scorer with 5.3 rebounds, shooting 36.6% from 3 and 42% from the field. Look, Tucker does give you a good 7 to 13 minutes a game at this point at best. He's good for the vibes. He's good for the energy. He could probably still play to a degree or he wouldn't be on the court because PJ wants to be playing basketball. He doesn't just want to be on the bench. He wants to be playing basketball. And Tucker could find his way to the court, and I actually expect him to. But it comes down to things where it's like, okay, it's understandable why Mikal's playing this much. There's not a ton of guys out there to play. But Mikal also, he gave the best possible answer to any of this when Well, this happened against the Portland Trailblazers last night. Great play by Tibbs. Mikal gets up there, hits a game-winning three, double bang by Mike Breen. He does the bobblehead, all that stuff. It was great to see. Mikal Bridges absolutely showed up when it mattered and gave a great example of, hey, I'm not playing around here. I still want to win. I'm not saying any of that. I want to be here. I want to win. I want to succeed. I just want to do it on a few less minutes per game. And that is fair. And it comes down to, did Mikal and Tibbs talk about it? Who's not telling the full truth here? What's actually going down? But the crazy thing is, Tibbs, and this is what James Edwards said also, Tibbs could have benched Mikal. He could have played Mikal less minutes. He could have not played him at all. He could have taken Mikal out. Instead, Mikal took 21 shots last night. He got the game-winning three, a play that was drawn up for him. So Tibbs clearly just, he wasn't going to put his ego in front of winning, and neither was Mikal, and that's what really matters here. And we all know the old saying, winning solves everything, and this win solved a lot. James Edwards also mentioned that one of the first people to throw his arms up was Tibbs, who was thrilled to see Mikal hit that game winner. So they both do want to win. They just want a few different things in the process of winning. Will it happen? I wouldn't be shocked if it did. I imagine that Tibbs will give Mikal some leeway when they have to, but Tibbs saying basically, hey, wings play more because they're guarding the best players in basketball usually. That's the life we live in. And he's not fully wrong. It's also a game that revolves a lot around point guards nowadays and guard play, but Mikal can guard basically the 1 through the 4, so it makes things a little bit different. Look, Mikal's been great this season. I think he's very underrated with the way he's playing. His defense has been a lot better than people are giving him credit for, and I do want to see him be his best self, and if that takes less minutes, then that's what they should do. At the same time, Tom Thibodeau should be listening to his players more, but also he clearly is doing a solid job coaching, as the Knicks are having their best record and one of their best seasons they've had since Patrick Ewing. So you also have to give them credit where credit is due. They both have been a major part of this Knicks team this season. People have to relax on the New York Knicks. It feels like there's a lot of people freaking out right now, and that just does not need to happen. The Knicks are going to be fine. They're only getting better as the season goes along, especially with the return of Mitch. It makes the defense much better and makes everyone more comfortable. But guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Knicks.